What is up, MSU YGO? Today we're here with Nik Trimer, who got second place in our locals. Nick, what deck were you playing today?
Pure Scareclaw.
Sounds good. Let's see the list.
All right, I got triple Reichheart. This is obviously the best monster in the deck. It searches for any Scareclaw spell trap, and you get to draw one if you control, or if there's three defense position monsters on the field. So you don't really want to start your combos with this one. You want to bridge into it with the field spell and keep going that way. Then we got triple Acro, triple Astra, and triple B-Lone. You want to play max out with all these because they're all both starters and extenders. This one's the best because it lets you attack multiple times. This one gives your guy an attack boost. And this one's kind of like the worst one because it gives you piercing, but it still comes up to close out games, which is really useful. A lot of people are like cutting one of this, but I think you max out on all these because they're both starters and extenders, like I said. Each one is a one-card combo by itself into the Link 3. And if you draw them, with multiple copies, then you can obviously make better boards. But all three starters and extenders, so... And one Visas, he comes up when your hand is already really good, and you can use him to make Barone. And if you're going second, you can make Cross Sheep and Astrolaud and break boards that way. Sometimes, yeah, I mean, he's just good if you already have a good hand and you want to add Barone to your end board. Then we got triple Fenrir. Fenrir is just an engine piece in this deck, really. You search the one Scare Cache, and this one can get your combo started if you have any other Scareclaw or Kashtira card in your hand or graveyard. So he's both non-engine because he's Fenrir and he's generic and in everybody's deck, and engine because he can get your play started. It's not really like a hybrid deck. It's just Fenrir is essentially a combo piece. Then, so the goal of this deck was like play as little engine as possible and max out on the non-engine so I can not lose going second. So I have a crap ton of hand traps in here. Triple Ash. Don't ever play 2 Ash. I don't know what people are smoking if they play 2 Ash. You just play 3 of it. It's amazing.
Yeah, you're weird if you play 2 Ash.
Yeah, man. It's weird for real. Triple Nibiru. It's good against Unchained. Obviously, I still think it's worth maining for sure. And triple Droll. We have many DM players at our locals and just random rogue decks like Dinos I played against today. This takes care of a lot of rogue and some of the meta, so you still play it. Then triple Veiler. Veiler's really good right now. It just hits everything. I think Veiler's insane. More copies of Emperor, really. And then some more non-engine, 1 called by, and 3 cross out because I play a crap ton of hand traps and I don't want to lose to the same hand traps that I play. And this deck can get really hurt by any of those, honestly. Droll and Nib especially, but... And I play only 2 of the planet. It's not really a starter. You don't want to start your combos with this because then you're... it doesn't really get you in there to start the combo with. You just want to search it off of the Link 1. I'm not a big fan of 2-ofs in decks. I think mostly when people play 2 of a card, you can usually cut it to 1 or bump it to 3. But in this case, you don't want to draw it in your hand most of the time, but you do need the second one for follow-up, so it's just the sweet spot is 2 for this card. And then obviously the attack reduction and defense reduction on your opponent's cards comes up. And don't forget, I see a lot of Scareclaw players forget that this can pop stuff. I tried to remember, every time the pop effect came up to use it. And like I said, very, very slim engine. So 1 Arrival and 1 Twin Saw. This is the last of the Scareclaw engine. I'm not playing any of the other random traps in the deck. I think that they have potential. Defanging is a really good card. I just didn't want to. I wanted to stay at 40, and I couldn't cut any one of those hand traps because anytime I play less than 15 hand traps, I don't draw any of them and I lose. This one, some people play more than one of this, but so far for me, it hasn't come up. It's not once per turn, but I don't know. It just doesn't feel necessary. And then this one won me my last game against Tyr. So I used it as soon as he made Dark Charmer. I banished, because it has another effect to just pop 2. The effect when you banish from graveyard, it makes all Link monsters unable to activate their effects. So he summoned Dark Charmer, and then I popped 2 of his cards, then banished him from graveyard so he couldn't activate the Dark Charmer. And he was trying to out my Link 3 with Unicorn, so I just shut down all these lines, and that's how I beat him. So really good. And then the last card in the main deck, triple imperm, so 15 hand traps. Very, very streamlined deck, just a lot of non-engine and very, very slimmed down engine. Then I'll do the extra deck.
Yeah.
One Link Splatter, this is in case you get into Bureaued and you can keep going. Didn't come up because I didn't get into Bureaued. Cross Sheep, this card, you use it with the Astrolaud lines and Visas lines. You can make Astrolaud and then chain block it with the Cross Sheep effect, so you can pop something and they can't negate it. Pretty nice card. Little Knight. So the cool thing about this deck is it's like extremely budget. The entire deck is probably like $30 or $40. I got really lucky and pulled this card out of an entry pack for a tournament, so that's the only reason I'm playing it. But you don't need this card. This is just there because it's nice to have. Then I played 2 Charmers, Dark and Earth. This is good because you can steal Fenders and then use it to search tier cache and get your engine going, or Scare Cache. And this one obviously is Dark Charmer. This didn't come up, but I also didn't play Unicorn. I should probably put Unicorn in here. So I didn't really have a reason to summon them, but I wasn't really thinking. So I'd probably add Nightmare Unicorn in here. Then for Scareclaw links, triple the Funko Pop. This card's really insane. It's not once per turn. It's Monster Reborns itself. You can use itself as link material. This card's crazy. Like,
yeah.
One of the best link ones.
Especially when you got like a link one that works well with SP, like
yeah,
that can be crazy.
I just miss like Prank Kid's one of my favorite decks, and I'm desperately trying to fill the hole that Meow Mew left when he died. And this doesn't quite do it, but whatever.
Yeah.
We're trying.
It's
Stages of Grief.
Yeah.
Then triple the Boss Monster. So many decks, they have a hard time dealing with this. Like even decks that make links like tier, if you just banish the trap, they can't use their links to get over it. Like some decks just cannot out this card with their entire engine, and they just kind of scoop when they see it. I love Floodgates, so big Floodgate. And he has a Monster Reborn and Search effect all in one, and that's not once per turn. So you can summon multiple of him and then use their effect. And that actually came up today. I summoned a second one, used its effect. Yeah, another crazy card.
Yeah, Tryhard's crazy.
Access Code, another like not budget card, but it's not too bad, like $30. I've had this one for so long. So if you, like I said, if you want to make this deck budget, cut Access Code, cut SP, and I don't know, play Zero Boris or something, Abramax. It helps close out games. You can target the Link 3 when you link it off. One Astrolaud, you'll need one. It's just good for going second and hands when you can use Visas. Can't be destroyed by battle either, which interestingly did come up the other day. One Barone. Now this card's dirt cheap, so it's Barone.
Thank you, Rarity Collection.
And Typhon, I also got really lucky and pulled this card, so yeah, there's a couple things here that make it not budget, but they're all things that I either pulled or like already had. So
Yeah.
Typhon's really nice. Then I got side deck, back row hate package / generic removal with Evenly. Not too much to say about that. Pretty good.
I gotta run something with Rescue Ace in the
I
format.
put Evenly in almost every deck.
Yeah.
Sometimes I main it. Triple anti-spell, and then triple judgment, and then the one splash. This is for going first. This is like a counter to other people's like sides because they're gonna side in, Dark Rulers and Evenlys to me. And I think anti-spell is really, really good with this deck because you can flip splash first. This is like an Omni negate basically. So you flip this first, no response. Okay, flip anti-spell. They chain Cosmic, negate it, and then they're scooping pretty soon after that. And then Judgment's Judgment. So.
Yeah.
More Floodgates. I really like this card. I kind of want to main it, but Twin Saw just hits too much of the meta. Maybe in a different format I'd reverse them. Triple Ghost Spell because I constantly run into Labyrinth and I always have problems with that deck, so this makes its way into every side deck I play. It's kind of good against some other things too. You can hit like the Wanted with this, Tears, okay if they don't chain block everything. It's actually a pretty good generic card. It's in there for Labyrinth because all my locals are just infested with Labyrinth. And the last card in the deck is kind of some spice. It's Submersible Carrier Arrow Shark.
What the heck is this card?
This is just here because we don't have any other in-engine way to burn people in time. This card just says you can basically gain like 100. I don't know if it's a game. Yeah, you inflict 100. I didn't even know. I'm just knowing. You detach to inflict 100 damage for each of your banished monsters. So if you did Scare Cache or Visas lines, this is live in pretty much any decent hand. This is just what you're just like 2 minutes left. You say, okay, I'm going first. You combo off. You do this. You burn them. And then, you need some kind of time.
That's the time card.
So, that's the deck profile. Chris Hansen is always watching.
All right. Before we leave, do you have anyone you want to shout out or anyone you want to thanks?
Yeah, I want to shout out myself because I'm a cool person, and then I want to shout out my channel, which is Metasheep Slaughterhouse. I'm probably going to post this deck profile on there too. I've kind of had a drought in content, but that's because life has been being life. But I make like a lot of rogue decks, and I'm known as the stun player that everyone hates around my locals. So if that's your kind of thing, then check out my channel, Meta Sheep Slaughterhouse, and then obviously shout out to MSU YGO for hosting good locals and doing good deck profiles.
All right, well, yeah, guys, be sure to check out this channel. And before we go, huge thanks to LDB Duels. You can use our code in the description to get 10% off your first order. And with that, we'll see you all in the next one. Peace.